Alright, I'm gonna be honest. Lanterns might be the most important project in the new DCU right now besides Superman. And weirdly enough, it's also the one that makes me the most nervous, because this show has the potential to become something genuinely special, like true detective level special. But it could also completely lose audiences if DC handles the tone wrong. And honestly, that's why I'm both excited and worried at the exact same time. When people hear Green Lantern, most expect giant cosmic battles, colorful space wars, glowing constructs flying everywhere, and huge sci-fi action. But Lanterns doesn't seem interested in doing that immediately. Instead, James Gunn and HBO are going for something way more grounded, a murder mystery. Two space cops investigating a dark case in the American heartland. Basically, True Detective meets Green Lantern Corps. And honestly, that sounds either brilliant or incredibly risky. The premise alone already feels very different from most superhero shows. You have Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, as this older, experienced Lantern who's basically near retirement. Then you've got Jon Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, younger, more idealistic, more emotionally controlled. And together, they're investigating murders tied to something much bigger hiding underneath the surface. That's actually a very smart approach. Instead of rushing immediately into giant universe-ending threats, they're building character dynamics first. That's exactly what DC needs right now. And honestly, the casting looks fantastic. Kyle Chandler feels perfect for Hal Jordan. He naturally has that veteran energy, calm, experienced, slightly exhausted, but still charismatic enough to command attention immediately. He feels like someone who's seen too much already. Meanwhile, Aaron Pierre looks like he could completely steal the show as Jon Stewart. Serious, focused, emotionally layered. And from the footage we've seen so far, their chemistry already feels strong. Not in a Marvel-style joke machine kind of way, more like two very different men slowly learning to trust each other while dealing with something terrifying. That's what makes this feel closer to prestige crime drama than traditional superhero TV. And honestly, I love that idea, because DC's biggest strengths compared to Marvel has always been tone diversity. DC works best when different corners of the universe feel completely different from each other. Superman can feel hopeful and inspirational. Batman can feel psychological and gothic. And Lanterns should feel mysterious, cold, existential, almost cosmic horror sometimes. And HBO honestly feels like the perfect place for that. Their track record with mature drama is insanely strong. Succession, House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, HBO knows how to let stories breathe emotionally instead of rushing non-stop spectacle. That's why I think Lanterns could become the first truly mature Green Lantern adaptation we've ever had, especially after the disaster of Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. Let's be honest, that movie damaged the Green Lantern brand badly for years. Too much CGI, weak emotional core, messy tone.
And honestly, DC has been scared of Green Lantern ever since. That's why Lanterns going grounded first actually makes sense to me. They're rebuilding audience trust slowly. But here's where my concern starts kicking in. I really hope this show remembers it's still a Green Lantern story, because if they make it too grounded, then fans are going to start asking, where's the imagination? Green Lantern should still feel visually creative. The rings should feel powerful. The constructs should feel awe-inspiring. Fear and willpower should matter thematically. And I really hope the cosmic side gradually expands naturally instead of being ignored completely. Because if Lanterns just becomes two detectives talking in dark rooms for 8 episodes, audiences are going to lose interest fast, especially right now. Superhero fatigue is real. People are tired of generic capes and formulas, and slow burn storytelling only works if the payoff is worth it. That's the balance Lanterns absolutely has to nail. Too much superhero spectacle? It risks feeling generic again. Too much detective realism? It stops feeling like Green Lantern entirely. And honestly, I think that balance will determine whether this show becomes a masterpiece or a disappointment. Now, one thing I'm really excited about: Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Bro, this might become one of the most entertaining castings in the entire DCU. Everything we've heard about his version sounds hilarious, arrogant, annoying, aggressive, completely unfiltered, apparently dropping F-bombs constantly and making everyone around him miserable, which honestly sounds exactly like Guy Gardner. And weirdly enough, that chaotic energy might help balance the darker tone of the series, because Lanterns looks very serious overall, almost unsettling at times. And I actually respect DC for taking that risk. They're not trying to copy Marvel's tone anymore. They're trying to create something with its own identity.
That's important because audiences today don't just want another superhero show. They want stories that actually feel different, and Lanterns genuinely feels different right now. If this works, it could become the flagship HBO series for the entire DCU, not because of giant cameos or universe building, but because it tells a genuinely compelling story first. That's the key. And honestly, the involvement of writers influenced by people like Tom King and Damon Lindelof gives me hope creatively, because they understand psychological storytelling, mystery, character trauma, moral ambiguity. Those themes fit Green Lantern way more than people realize. At the end of the day, Lanterns could either become DC's version of prestige sci-fi detective television, or a show that confuses both casual audiences and hardcore comic fans by trying too hard to be serious. Personally, I'm cautiously optimistic. I genuinely want this show to succeed because Green Lantern deserves redemption after being ignored for so long in live action. And if HBO really nails the atmosphere, the mystery, and the emotional tension between Hal and John, this could become one of the best superhero series we've had in years. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you like the darker, true detective style direction for Lanterns, or do you think Green Lantern should have stayed more cosmic and colorful from the start? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more DC discussions, movie reactions, and fandom deep dives like this. See you guys in the next one.